Most people believe they are busy because life demands it. Work, responsibilities, expectations, pressure. But if you look closely, speed often isn't required. It's habitual. People move quickly not because they have to, but because slowing down feels unsafe. This is rarely acknowledged. Slowing down doesn't just reduce movement. It reduces distraction. And when distraction fades, awareness returns. That's what people are avoiding. Modern life conditions speed early. Children are overstimulated. Teenagers are constantly connected. Adults are rewarded for responsiveness, not presence. So the nervous system adapts. Fast becomes normal. Stillness becomes unfamiliar. Silence becomes threatening. When speed is constant, it stops being noticeable. It feels like baseline. Slowing down then feels like something is wrong. Anxiety rises. Restlessness appears. The urge to do something intensifies. Not because there is danger, but because the system is unused to stillness. Most people interpret that sensation incorrectly. They think, I'm wasting time. I should be doing more. I'm falling behind. But what they're actually feeling is withdrawal from stimulation. Just like any other withdrawal, it produces discomfort before clarity. Speed masks uncertainty. When you move quickly, there's no space to question direction. No pause to reflect. No moment to feel what's actually happening inside. Slowing down removes that buffer. It exposes doubt, ambivalence, unresolved emotion. So people stay busy. They fill time with tasks, even unnecessary ones, because movement feels safer than awareness. This is why people often feel more uncomfortable on weekends or holidays than during the work week. Structure disappears. Silence increases. Internal states surface. Without constant input, the mind turns inward. For many, that inward turn feels overwhelming. So they recreate speed artificially. Scrolling, consuming, planning, optimizing. Anything to avoid stopping completely. This is also why many people confuse slowing down with becoming passive or unmotivated. They fear that if they stop pushing, everything will fall apart. But slowing down doesn't remove agency. It removes compulsion. There's a difference. Compulsion says, I must keep going or something bad will happen. Agency says, I can move when it makes sense. Most people are not acting from agency. They're reacting from momentum. Momentum feels productive, but it doesn't ask questions. Direction does. Slowing down forces a confrontation with direction. Am I doing this because it matters, or because I don't know how to stop? That question alone is enough to keep many people moving indefinitely. Speed also creates identity. I'm busy. I'm driven. I'm always on the move. These become self-descriptions. And stepping out of them can feel like losing who you are. If you slow down, who are you then? That uncertainty is deeply uncomfortable. So people cling to motion because it reinforces a familiar sense of self. Slowing down isn't just a behavioral shift. It's an identity shift. And identity shifts always come with resistance. There's also a cultural component. Modern culture rewards output, not regulation. Visibility, responsiveness, availability. Stillness doesn't register. Presence doesn't show up on metrics. Depth can't be measured easily. So people learn to prioritize what can be tracked over what can be felt. Speed produces visible effort. Slowing down produces invisible clarity. Most people are taught to value the first and distrust the second. But clarity is what prevents unnecessary effort. It's what keeps energy from being wasted. When you slow down, you begin to notice how much movement was never required in the first place. How many decisions were reactions? How many tasks were avoidance? How much urgency was imagined? That realization can feel unsettling. It can bring regret, or grief, or frustration, so people speed back up. This is why slowing down often happens only after crisis. Burnout, health issues, relationship breakdowns. When the system collapses, speed is no longer an option. Only then does stillness become unavoidable. But it doesn't have to be that way. Slowing down voluntarily is different from being forced to stop. One builds capacity. The other exposes depletion. Slowing down doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing fewer things, with more presence. It means letting attention settle before acting. It means allowing pauses without immediately filling them. That's what retrains the nervous system. Over time, stillness stops feeling threatening. Silence stops feeling empty. Rest stops feeling undeserved. Not because life becomes simpler, but because you're no longer running for yourself. Most people never slow down because they've never learned that it's safe to be here, To feel without fixing, to notice without reacting, to exist without producing. Once that safety is felt, speed becomes a choice, not a compulsion. Movement becomes intentional, not frantic. And life starts to feel less like something you're chasing and more like something you're actually inside of. One reason slowing down feels so difficult is because speed becomes a way of managing emotion. When things move quickly, there is less space for feelings to register. Sadness gets blurred. Uncertainty gets bypassed. Frustration turns into activity. Speed becomes regulation. Not healthy regulation, but functional regulation. It keeps the system moving forward without asking how it actually feels. This is why slowing down can initially feel like losing control. When movement pauses, the emotions that were being outrun begin to catch up. Nothing dramatic happens. But there is a subtle pressure, a sense of unease, a pull to do something, anything. That pull isn't a problem. It's a signal that the nervous system has learned to associate stillness with threat. Not because stillness is dangerous, but because it has been unfamiliar for too long. Slowing down removes the coping mechanism before a new one is established. That gap feels uncomfortable. Most people interpret that discomfort as a sign that slowing down isn't working. But it's actually the opposite. It's the system relearning how to stay present without constant motion. With time, something changes. The urge to fill every moment weakens. The need to justify rest fades. Silence stops demanding explanation. Slowing down no longer feels like resistance. It feels like permission. Not permission to stop living, but permission to live without running. That shift doesn't arrive through effort. It arrives through repetition. By slowing down again and again, even when it feels awkward. By staying present long enough for the nervous system to learn that nothing bad happens when you stop. This is how stillness becomes safe. And once stillness is safe, movement becomes intentional. You move because it's aligned, not because you're escaping. That's the difference. If this reflection resonated, don't rush past it. Let it sit for a moment. When you're ready, the next video continues this thread. You can click on the next video to keep going. And if this kind of calm, grounded exploration is useful to you, subscribing simply makes it easier to come back.